Well, hello, Flosstube. How are you, friends? Stitchy friends. It's great to see you again. I'm Barbara Johns, and this is Stitching with Grammy. This is my Flosstube channel about cross stitch. I do also quilt, but I haven't had time to do that in a long time. I have my favorite shirt, quilting is cheaper than therapy, but we all know that's not true because fabric is kind of expensive, right? So anyway, I do quilt, but I don't have a whole lot on this channel. This is mostly cross stitch, and today is your lucky day because you are going to see my first ever WIP Parade. Okay, so if you go back, I'm going to keep it Flosstube number 8, but I titled it WIP Parade because I'm just going to keep the numbers going. I'm not going to have a special edition or whatever. So anyway, this is the 8th video, so if you go back and look at the first one, you'll see my history, how I got into cross stitch, where I was gone for a long time, and I just came back in November of 19 during the COVID pandemic when it first hit and we all got sent home. Things happened and I ended up going on a stress leave from work, and so I needed something to do with my hands, and I had cross-stitched way back when, learned when I was in 4-H. That's a whole long history that's in my first Flosstube, so go check that out if you haven't. Anyway, so I started back in November of 2019, and so you're gonna see some of my WIPs that I'm gonna show you today. I decided to get out a little Excel spreadsheet, and I have them listed, and I have 56 current WIPs, okay? Some of them I'm going to what they call UFO. I'm going to get rid of them. I don't even know what it stands for. I'm not going to finish it thing. I don't know. Some of these might end up being that way. I also might take the whole little kit and go put it on the free table at StitchCon because I'm going to StitchCon Weekend B. I'm so excited. Last year, when I first got into cross stitching, I tried to go look for a pattern and I ended up finding Flosstube, and that is the demise of my pocketbook. That's what got me started on going down this wonderful stitchy road, and this is not a regular Flosstube, but I'm just going to tell you a little bit about a life update, and I'll insert a picture here. I got to go to Fort Wayne to meet my little little sister stitcher, Crafty Kara, who I met at StitchCon, and I got to meet Janet Jabber. I'm so excited. I've watched her Flosstube for a long time, and she's just got positive energy, and her big smile, and it's just wonderful. And so she, after my last Flosstube, purchased 2 of my project bags. And so when I got her address, I said, "Hey, how close are you to Fort Wayne? I might be going down there this weekend." And she said, I'm going right there. So we met at Stitch and Frame. Kara and I met earlier, went out to breakfast. Janet had to work, so she couldn't meet us quite as early, so she met us at the shop, and we sat there for hours and talked like we were long-lost sisters that, Janet, I love you, Janet. It was so much fun, and I can't wait to do it again. And, we're even throwing around some ideas about maybe planning a retreat in Fort Wayne area. So anyway, that's down the road, but we've got ideas going around. So anyway, that is a little bit of a tiny bit of life update. Also, some of you know through my Facebook or through my Instagram, my brother was hospitalized with COVID, and my dad came to stay with me because being the good daughter, I had to bring him. Come on, you're not living alone. He's almost 82 years old. So he was here for a while, but my brother is home. He has oxygen when he needs it, but he hasn't really needed it. He's doing a lot better. Thank God, prayers. He was unvaccinated and didn't end up going on an event. So praise God. Thank you all. If anybody out there was praying, thank you so much. And my dad is back at home. And so now here I am with my WIP Parade. So I wanted to do it sooner, but hey, here we are. Okay? So let's get started. I started planning and putting all of this on a spreadsheet to just try to figure out what I had, because I had no idea where I was. I had no idea how many WIPs. I knew that in March or May of last year I did Mania, and like Mania started in 2015 from what I understand. I wasn't stitching back then, but it was a group of people on Facebook who started in the year 2015, started 15 starts for the 15 days in May, because it's 2015. So because I had not done it before, I thought, well, it's 21, I'm going to have 21, so I started 21 starts in May. I like Brenda, the Handiwork Maniac. Hi, Brenda, if you watch me. I got to meet her at StitchCon, too. I was really excited to meet her. We were in the late night stitchy room sitting next to each other at one point. And I know her daughter has a Flosstube now that's out, too, so she's fun to watch. But anyway, it was, I just totally lost my train of thought, but it was wonderful. Oh, the way she does Mania now, she has a big poster board, and she puts a picture of all her WIPs and all her Mania projects that she works on. And if she's finished one, she takes that picture off if she finished it during the year, and then that means she gets to start one on that day. If the next day she hadn't finished the one she had started previously, then that's the one she had to work on that again. So I think what I'm going to do, some of these Mania projects are on my WIP Go board, so I may finish them, and so then in 22 May, I'm going to work on the ones I started last year, or if I've finished it between then and now, you know, in May, then I get to have a new start. So that's kind of what I'm going to do for Mania to keep things going. I didn't do WIP Go before, but I'm going to do that this year to try to get some of these WIPs moving. I'm also on one of my WIPs. It's the Winter Rose Manor. Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch just finished hers today. Elizabeth, it's beautiful. I can't wait to get mine done. I've been stitching with Elaine from Annabella's shop. If you watch her Flosstube, and I will try to tag everybody that I talk about and link it down. I'm still learning, but I will try. Anyway, on Tuesday nights, if you email info@annabellas.net and you're working on Winter Rose Manor, Elaine hosts a Zoom on Tuesday nights at 7 o'clock Eastern time, I believe. Yes, Tuesday nights. And we stitch on Winter Rose Manor. Some people are stitching on something else and they join us anyway. So check out Elaine at Annabella's. She has a Flosstube. Watch her Flosstube. I think she uploads almost every Friday, if I'm not mistaken. So check her out, and she'll give you more details and more information about that. But that's another way that I'm trying to get these WIPs going, through the Happy Little Stitch Shop. There's a lot of you out there that have found me through that. So hi, my Happy Little Stitchers. We started a stitch along called the Brick House Sampler. It's a Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. We started that, and I started a Wednesday night Zoom at 7:30 on Wednesday nights Eastern time to work on that, because if I can do it, that would dedicate a day for each of those every week. I gotta do something, because I'm gonna want to get these WIPs going. So anyway, without further ado, let's go and get busy. I have, instead of my book of days, as I've showed you before, I've got just a regular, this happens to be a Ray Dunn that I picked up at Home Goods or TJ Maxx or one of those stores, and it basically any 1 month spread calendar booklet. It doesn't have to, you don't have to spend a lot of money to have the book of days that the Needlework Press or whoever puts it out. Any calendar will do. I know Artie, the vintage stitcher. Hi, Artie. She's even given away some planners as her giveaways, because she found them at the dollar store and they were a couple bucks a piece. And all you need is a monthly spread. And you can put stickers if you want to put stickers, if you want to, you know, make it look all pretty. I've, you know, did some of them, but look at where I'm at January. I don't have any stickers yet. Sorry, Steph. So anyway, you can just write in it, or you can put stickers or color or do whatever. But anyway, this is helping me stay organized too and keep track of what I'm stitching on what day. Right now, because my goal in WIP Go, you can make your WIP Go anything you want, your goals. And for those of you that don't know, WIP Go is like bingo, and you have 25 spaces. Usually the 13, the one in the middle, is a free space. And what you're trying to do is like a bingo. You're trying to get them in a row or the four corners or diagonal or whatever. And the goal, you set your own goals. You pick your projects. They'll call the numbers. For example, January, the number 2 and the number 19 have been called. So my Hallows Eve at Raven Hollow by Brenda Gervais and Coffee Quaker by Heartstring Samplery, those are called in January. So my goal for all these projects is to work 10 days in the month on each of those projects. My goal for everything is 10 days. This is my first time doing it. It might be over ambitious, but I want to get some whips done because I want some finishes. Finishes are fun. So anyway, this WIP Go is 10 days, so this calendar is helping me. Every time I work on Coffee Quaker, there's day number 1, there's day number 2, then there's day number 3, and I can just keep track in my little calendar. So if you don't have anything like that, I suggest you do it. Okay, here we are, 11 minutes in, and we haven't even started yet. So let's get started. My first WIP, and most people say in no particular order. Well, mine are in order. I decided to go back to my oldest WIP and go forward. So here we go. This is my very, very oldest WIP. And I'm trying not to I don't want to get emotional. But I started this way back in probably August of 1991. Long time ago. I started this as a gift for my mother. My mother was a choir director at Robbins United Methodist Church in Eaton Rapids, Michigan for over 34 years. She loved music and everything about music. So when I saw this pattern, I got this magazine. I was working as a craft manager at Lee Ward's before I had my son. Actually, this came out July, August of 91. So I think I started it, as soon as it came out, I had to start stitching it. So my son was born in June of 91, so this was, 30 years ago. Almost 32 years ago. So anyway, this is the Heirloom stocking, and I believe this one is called the Music Room, but let me, if I can find it real quick. So sorry. Yeah, the Music Room stockings. And they had that one, and then a companion one was this. But the Music Room one is what I did, and I started stitching it for my mom. My mom has been gone for 8 years. When I got back into stitching, I just got back in a year ago in November. So I am going to complete this stocking. This is how much I have done. And it was sitting all these years in a box, just waiting for me to finish it. Look at that. It's so beautiful. These stockings, they're cooler design. They're just so beautiful. And I'm going to finish it. I have to finish it. So this is going to be, I'm going to finish this. And then I want to do the Stitchers or Sewers room for me. But I want to do this, and I'm going to put my mom's name on it. My mom's name was Mabel, and I'm going to put Mabel, and I'm going to hang it up every single Christmas. Whether she's here to enjoy it with me or not, I'm going to do it. So, that is my oldest WIP from 1991. Yay! Okay, so hopefully most of these are unzipped, but I may just have a zip, so sorry. And then I'm just going to toss them into a basket that I have over here. Okay, so that was number 1. So then I dug out all the other kits that I had, and somebody actually gave me this kit because they knew I liked roosters and chickens, and So I thought, well, let me get this out and stitch this too. Why, might as well. And unfortunately, I don't have, oh, here it is, I'm so sorry. This was a kit. It's from Bucilla, and it is a rooster. And isn't that gorgeous? The colors are so beautiful. But when I got back into stitching, you know, this is what I used to stitch on, was Ada. This kit comes with, oh God, that's, the color when I show up close is ridiculous. It is a beautiful, bright yellow, sunny yellow 14 count Ada. I can't stitch on 14 count Ada. So I might save the pattern. I love the pattern, but that would be beautiful on like a 46 count linen. So I might do that. I might change out the fabric, still use the pattern and the threads, but I just can't stitch it on that 14 count yellow Ada. So if anybody likes 14 count yellow Ada, let your girl know, because I will gladly give it to you. But the kit, I think I'm going to keep the pattern and the flosses and start that over again. So that was from, I did work on it a little bit when I got back into stitching, and that was in November of 2020. I said 19. I wasn't stitching in 19. It was 2020. Yeah, because we're in 22 now. Yeah. I got back into stitching November of 2020. So that's one of the first ones that I picked up. Then I had, speaking of farm animals, I grew up on farms. I love farms. My kids raised animals, showed small animals in 4-H. So I love animals. They're so cute. So I got this little kit too for the sweet cow. And I think that's what it's called. It's called Sweet Cow. Isn't it adorable? Okay, but the fabric that came with it is this nasty thin, like you can see through it, linen that is, it just is not, it's not pretty. It's really not pretty. You can see through it. This is, you know, that's how much I got on it. It's cute. I don't think I'm going to ever stitch it on this linen. I might pick it up and do a tighter weave, 40 count, use the pattern, still stitch it, because I think it's adorable. But not on that linen. Not going to happen. Okay, so that was my next one, and that was also from November of 2020. And then I remembered way back when I was stitching before, when I got into stitching and when I was working at the craft stores, I made, my mom's side of the family, we drew names, and I had one of my aunts for Christmas, and I remember stitching this for her. And it was called a Country Christmas Sampler. And this is just a photo, but I do have the pattern, and it's got a little bit more on it. But I remember stitching it for her, and I thought, oh, I love that. I want it. So I pulled this out, found that pattern online somewhere, and I started stitching this again. But again, I was stitching on what I knew. And what I knew, other than that stocking, was 14 count Ada. I don't do 14 count Ada right now. Here's another one. I don't know if you guys remember those good old magazines called Cross Country Stitching. I love these magazines. Jermiah Junction had some cute patterns. In fact, that's the one I was stitching, is the one that's on the front. I was stitching, I thought that was so cute. I was into all that Amish look. Oh, I get a needle in there. But this one is on, and this was the, I think it goes this way, because it's this is where I started. But this is a, I think it's a 14 count, like oatmeal Ada. Again, back then I did what I knew. I don't think I'm going to finish it. So these might all end up, I've got a couple other patterns that also I found on eBay. Hearts Full of Love. Here's another one. It's all that country stuff. Here's another one similar to that Christmas one. But then I found Flosstube, and this is not, these may be going, oops, sorry, I showed the pattern. These may be going on the free table at StitchCon. So if anybody wants it before I put it on the free table at StitchCon, let me know. I will probably not be stitching all of these. Okay. I did have a leisure art, excuse me, as I get reassembled here in my stitchy, or my chair. I did have a leisure art. This is my next one. I had a leisure art magazine, or leaflet, that I had saved and saved and saved and had wanted to stitch it for so long. So this I thought, okay, well then I'm going to graduate from 14 count Ada, okay? So here is my beautiful portrait of Santa. I wanted to stitch this so bad, and I cannot remember who it was. A couple people I've seen also have it out there. So I got this Mushroom Lugana 25 count, and away I went last November. I had shoulder surgery. I had a rotator cuff injury. It was ruptured in 3 places, and so I had that done at the end of December. This I started in the beginning, I think, of December. Let me see. Yeah, beginning of December of that year. So what I had to try to do before I had this surgery, I'm right-handed, and at that time I was doing it in a hoop. So I needed to practice being able to hold the hoop with the right hand and then stitch with the left. And I got pretty good at it. So I knew I'd be able to stitch while I was recuperating and I was off work. So I got this beautiful Santa. Oh my God. Excuse the wrinkles. And let me tell you, Elizabeth Ann can stitch. If you watched her WIP Parade, girlfriend, all of them were out. All of them were pressed. All of them were in order with the pattern leaflet or whatever, the picture, and then this iron. I'm not the one. I watched Helen D's WIP Parade. Hi, Helen, if you're watching me. And she said this is not a channel about ironing. It's a channel about WIP. So this is not a channel about ironing either. So I apologize, friends. But here's my Santa. He needs more of a face. He needs some eyes. So I will definitely eventually get him done. Maybe he'll be on my free spot on my WIP Go board. I don't know, but I do want to finish him and get him framed. I think the Virginia Stitcher, I think maybe she was working on it too. But anyway, that's my portrait of Santa, and I love it. I will finish that one, even though it's not 14 count Ada, but it's 25 count Lugana. So anyway, that is another one of my early on stitches when I got back into stitching. Okay, so I thought, all right, now I've seen all these floss tubes. These people are telling me I need to buy all these things. So let me go and look and see. I need to start stitching something on linen. Okay, let me get into linen. Well, little did I know, not all linen is created equal. So, here's another one. I skipped one, so hang on. Here's another one that I had a leaflet from Leisure Arts. This one I had started light years ago. In fact, it should be up further in the, I know I didn't start this. I think that had just a little bit of one of the Santas started, and I just kind of built onto it. So I did put a lot of work into it, but I think this Santa, this first red one right here, I think he was already done. And so then I just added to it when I started back in November. Again, I think this is Fiddler's Cloth. It may be 16 or 18, so it's better than the 14. It's getting a little smaller, but anyway, that's the Santa reunion. So I will put that in the pile of, okay, yeah, maybe later. Because I'm on to other things. I'm not going to fight with those zippers on those bags. So, as I said, I wanted to get linen. Well, as we all know, not all linen is created equal. And my girl, Elaine, showed pictures of throwing linen in the trash, throwing a project in the trash, because she's not going to do it. Well, look at this. I can see through this. You don't want linen like this. This is not fun linen to learn on. It's not fun linen to stitch on. But I did get some quite a bit done on this because I wanted to get some experience on linen under my belt. So I picked up this cute little project. It's Erica Michaels. It makes a little needle book, and that's what it looks like. Okay, so I picked up this linen at Joann's, Hobby Lobby, one of them, and it's not bad. It's not a bad start. There's two different colors of blue in these swirlies, and I don't kind of like the color of those. So I am going to start it on, restart it. This is, I think, my favorite linen to stitch on, and I got it just by a fluke. I sent it, ordered it from 123 Stitch, and it's called 40 Count Mallow. And I think I'm gonna restart this on this 40 Count Mallow. It's not ironed. It's not ironed, but it's so much thicker. But it's not hard. It's not stiff. But it's got body and substance to it. It's not this flimsy stuff. So I'm telling you, there is a difference between linen. So I really want to get, in fact, I have a 123 Stitch order on its way to me, and I've ordered a lot more of this. And Elaine, if you're watching, I'm going to send you some because I love it. It's 40 count, so you'll need a little magnifiers. But once you stitch on this, you'll understand that it's not like this. This would make me throw it away too. So anyway, I'm going to redo this on 40 count Mallow and make that needle book because I've never made a needle book. So that'll be fun. So that is the next WIP on our little WIP parade. Oh my gosh, we're at 26 minutes and I've only gone down 8 WIPs. So we better get a hustle on. Whoopsie. So after that, then I said, okay, I feel like I'm going to just jump right in, order something, and get started, go down this big, huge rabbit hole of higher count fabric and really pretty overdyed flosses, not just DMC. Let's go. So I jumped in head first into this beautiful project bag, and inside this beautiful project bag is the most beautiful project ever. This is Winter Rose Manor by Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread, and this is the one I was telling you that Elaine from Annabella's is hosting the Zoom on Tuesday nights at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Come join us. Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch just finished hers, and it's gorgeous. There's a few colors I had to change because this was a retreat piece years and years ago, and then it's exclusive for about a year, and then it's been about a year since it's been out. So when you go to buy the colors, the dye lots of the floss is a little bit different. So the white that you see here that she called for roasted marshmallow, she called for Gentle Arts roasted marshmallow. I had to change it to toasted marshmallow, and I believe that's classic color. Also, conch, like a conch shell, is the color that they had for the pink house. Well, my conch looks yellow. So I had to change that up a little bit because, no. Here's the roasted marshmallow. Is this one? That's not white. That's not going to give you white snow. So I use the toasted marshmallow by Classic Colorworks. That's the color you need if you want the white to really pop. Okay, so as far as the house color, conch is what it called for. But look at how yellow that is. That doesn't look pink. So I changed mine to Meredith Pink. It's a lot more pinker. And this is where I am. I just started last Tuesday when we had, was it last Tuesday? Yeah. Last Tuesday when we had our sit and stitch with Elaine and her crew from Annabella's. This is my progress on that. And you can see I just barely got this pink house going. So that's where I am. Now, this was my first count. This is on 40 count Brenda's Brew. 36 count Brenda's Brew is the called for, but I could not get that, so I got 40 count. This was my first try at 40 count. And if you look, my house roof looks really fuzzy. I was struggling to know, you know what? I'm not going to rip it out because this is my learning experience. This is when I learned I'm going to leave it. And now the house is going to be better. My stitches are better. This is how that toasted marshmallow comes up. Doesn't that look bright white? Can't wait to get some more of this done. So, Brenda Gervais Winter Rose Manor. I love it. You guys need to stitch it. Get yourself one and stitch along with us. It's so much fun. It's so beautiful. And if you go find Lori Holt's video when Lori did hers, she finished it with the frame from Hobby Lobby that has the scrolly scalloped edges on the inside of the frame. And I went out right away and bought that frame. It called for 36 count, so mine's going to be just a little bit smaller, so I may get like a burgundy matte underneath it, so it's going to be really cool. But I'm really excited. So, Winter Rose Manor, let's go to the next one. Okay, so then when I found Flosstube, you know, like I said, and I found Fat Quarter Shop. Well, guess what? Fat Quarter Shop got me going down a bunch of rabbit holes with them, too. The first one I got was the Quilters Cottage. Hadn't gotten into quilting, hadn't done any of that, hadn't seen any of those quilting quilt tube or whatever you call it. Fat Quarter Shop does a sewing floss tube as well as a cross stitch one. So anyway, this is Quilter's Cottage. Again, I ended up, I think this is 16 count Ada. But this is how far I got on this. I changed the colors a little bit. Just started on the little sidewalk. I got the trees done. I changed and did some more back stitching because that's something else from the 80s. You back stitch everything, and I just think it looks better. It defines it more when you back stitch. So that's my progress on that. And I changed the house colors up a little bit to kind of, you know, I didn't want a white house. But I love pink, so I made the pink door and the pink flower boxes. So now I'm going to put the flowers in and finish the sidewalks. Sometime, I don't know when. I don't know if I'll finish it or not, but who knows? I got 55 other WIPs. Who knows what I'll do? So anyway, that's the next one was Quilter's Cottage. Then after that, okay, they're going to come out with another one. So they came out with Sew by Row. This is also a quilt pattern, which I haven't done, which I would love to do. Aren't those irons so cute? So, I got busy doing this, still recuperating from my shoulder. This one I started this in the beginning of February. And this is my progress on this. I love it. I changed my sewing machines a little bit and I added a bunch of different colors on the insides up here. I just thought it turned out so cute. I love the tomatoes. So eventually I want to finish this. This is on, what did I stitch this on? So sorry. Sew by Row. Oh, this is 28 count Monaco that's off-white, like an antique white 28 count Monaco. I love 28 count Monaco. And you're going to see that going forward. You're going to see how much I love 28 count Monaco. Okay, so I will be finishing that one at some point. Who knows when. Okay, Sew by Row. The next one, I thought, okay, I'm still watching these, you know, YouTube videos, and everybody's showing me all this beautiful stuff. So I got summer delivery from Plum Street Samplers. Isn't that cute? So I got this one, and it's on, I think it's a 28 count Jobelin. Light blue Jobelin, and it's the called for overdyes. And again, I got a lot of work in it, and I gotta stitch up that white horse, and I was like, okay, I don't want to do it now, on to something else. But I got quite a bit done, so I will get back to this eventually. It's not on my Let me see, this was started in the end of February, so it wasn't one of the Mania starts. So maybe someday I'll get back to that and we'll get that one finished up because it is pretty and I like it on that blue. So that is Summertime Delivery by Plum Street Samplers. Okay, let's keep moving. 35 minutes in. Let's keep moving. Okay, Summertime Delivery. Then we have, oh my goodness, this one I just decided, okay, I'm going to have this really big project, and I'm a quilter. I watched Flosstubes on how to make project bags, and boom! Guess what? I went and made my very first project bag. Might not have been the very first project bag because I took a bunch and when I went to StitchCon and I sold a bunch out of my hotel room. So I don't know if it was the very first one, but anyway, this is, we all know this, Teresa Kogut, Land That I Love. It is gorgeous. Gorgeous. And let me show you my progress. I am stitching this on 40 count mallow. It is gorgeous. I did do the border all the way around, and when I got to the back corner, I'm off by a half a stitch, but I don't care. I'm not ripping anything out. I will fudge it in the corner. But this is so gorgeous. I love stitching on this mallow. I love stitching on it, and I don't know why I haven't picked this back up. It's beautiful. So I think this might be on my WIP Go. Yes, it is. It's one of my numbers on WIP Go. So I'm hoping that, you know, getting it back out on WIP Go and getting some more love, because it needs love, right? We need to love our land that I love, because I love this project. It's so gorgeous. So Teresa Kogut, Land That I Love. Are you guys still with me? Are you still with me? This is so fun. Okay, Land That I Love. The next one, I'm feeling patriotic. Still feeling patriotic, but I got a lot of this done, but I might start it over because I don't know why I did it on this with these colors. It is on, this is 40 count vintage country mocha, the called for over dyes, and it is a Brenda Gervais Lady Liberty. And I'm sorry about the glare, guys. I'm really sorry. But see her skirt, how it's white-ish? Mine not so much. And it's, I don't know. What do you guys think? Can't even see the skirt. The skirt is completely stitched. Completely. And you can't see it. It breaks my heart because, like, the flag pops, but because her skirt's nothing's around it, it doesn't, there's two different colors, and neither one of them are showing me the love. I don't get it. So, I may be stitching this one again. I don't know. I love it. It's so beautiful, but I can't see that skirt. So, I will probably be stitching that again on a different fabric. And other times I've had problems with vintage country mocha with the whites showing up. So if anybody out there uses vintage country mocha, please put in the comments the favorite white you have on it and what you get to show up. Because I had a problem with another project we'll talk about in a little bit that I just can't get it to show up. My whites, I've used every single one. I can't get it. So anyway, that's that one. Let's see, Lady Liberty, and then we go to, haven't even made a dent in this first box. The next one is called Candy Cane Wishes by Brenda Gervais. Do you see a pattern? I like Brenda Gervais. I like her a lot. Oopsie, it's upside down, and you can't see it in this. So, let me do this. This is on a 40 count Newcastle water green is the color. 40 count. And I got it at Mo's Needle and Thread. Isn't that cute? It's so cute. Okay, so here's my itty bitty teeny tiny itty bitty teeny tiny start. But it's cute, and I like how this white is popping on here. So I need to really finish this because it's so cute and it shouldn't take long. But this Christmas during the season, you know, a lot of people like to stitch in season. I do too. Why I didn't pick this up and stitch on it, I don't know. Must have been stuck behind something and I didn't see it. So I need to get these out on some kind of a rotation, or I don't know, somehow to get these in my face so I stitch them. So anyway, that's Candy Cane Wishes. I need to get on that. The next one is, oh, more Flosstube, more enabling, more finding out 1, 2, 3 stitch, finding out local needle workshops that I didn't know existed, and my closest one to me is 45 minutes away. So I found 1, 2, 3 stitch where I can order all these cool things that everybody is showing. I can order them and they can come right to my house. So I had a really good order that had a whole bunch of these in it, and these next 1, 2, 3. The next 3 projects were that first big order that I got that it was like, oh my gosh. So this is my very first Blackbird Design Oh Joyous Day. Isn't that beautiful? This was an Elizabeth Ankin stitch when she started these. She really got me going on a lot of these and wanting to stitch these. I think Brenda and Laura had it going. I don't know, a bunch of people were doing it. So here's mine, and I believe it's on a 40 count legacy linen with the called for colors. And this was my project on, or my, ooh, look at all the modeling. This was my progress on this. Isn't it gorgeous? Why am I not stitching on these things? They're so beautiful. So I need to get back to this too. I believe this might be, I don't know, some of these are on my WIP Go board, some of them are not. I could probably have 2 WIP Go boards and still not hit everything. So that is Oh Joyous Day. The next one that I got in that little group of wonderfulness is another Blackbird design, and this is Strawberry Fields Forever. Isn't that beautiful? It's so springy. I need to get this out and stitch on it. That's it. I just need to do it. This is stitched on a 40 count doubloon is what my notes say. I love the feeling of this linen. It is so beautiful. So I got right busy and started right away, and look what I got done. Just the house. That's all I've done on this thing is the house. 40 count doubloon, and we've got a house. The windows aren't done. I don't think the door, yeah, the door's done. Oh, the windows are done. Isn't that beautiful? It's just the house. So I need to get going on this and get this done this spring when strawberries are blooming. And I'm going to leave the bee because Barbara. So that's what I'm going to do on Strawberry Fields Forever. I'm going to keep going and get that done because it's another Blackbird design, and don't we all love blackbirds? We do. So, and then I'm using the called for threads on that as well because, you know, Blackbird Design, they were genius designers, so we don't want to mess with their colors. Okay, so that is another one, and this third one also, it's on a 40 count mallow from, this one is also one that, oh, Elizabeth Ann can stitch. Her finish was absolutely gorgeous, and so I went right away and bought a frame, right away and bought the paint so I can make the paint just like hers. This is my, I think I showed this on one of my earlier floss tubes. This is Crafty MJC. This is her bag. This was the very first project bag I ever bought. And I bought this. I put this little zipper pull on. I think I got that at Hobby Lobby. But this was my very, very first project bag that I ever owned, and it kind of gave me the ideas and motivation to start making my own. So I love that. So these, I'm using the called for colors, and this is Plum Street Samplers Blackberry House. Isn't that gorgeous? It is so beautiful. This just makes me mad that I see this. And this one I started, this was one of my Mania starts, all three of these. The first one was May 1st, was Oh Joyous Day. May 2nd was Strawberry Fields Forever, and this was on May 3rd. And this is all I got, and I haven't touched it since. But it's so beautiful. Why am I not stitching these? So I will definitely be getting back to these. These, as I said, were my Mania starts. So if I don't get them done, they'll be my Mania work. You know, I'll be working on them during the month of May. Hopefully I'll have lots more stitching in them between now and May. I have to, because they're too beautiful not to, right? Okay, so keep telling me that. Say, get busy, get it done. No excuses. Okay, so here's another one for Mania. This one is called Where's the Bees? And I believe this is a Prairie Schooler, maybe? Yes, it's a Prairie Schooler. Sorry, I want to turn this because I don't want to show you the chart. This is Prairie Schooler, Where There Are Bees. And this is what I got. And this I'm doing, oh, what is this? This must be an 18 count. I don't know if it's Monaco. I don't think it's not Monaco. I don't know what it is, but it's just something I had in my stash. Where There Are Bees. And I will be working on that to get that done as well. I think this one, I do have this on my, I believe I have this on my WIP Go board, so this might be getting some more love too. Okay, so Where There Are Bees. Then, this one, I don't think I'm going to continue. I don't have that much of a start, but again, I don't know, and I'll talk about this fabric again later. This is a 32 count Jobelin Queen Anne's lace. Now I like it because it I don't know if it'll show up, but it looks like a cloudy day, right? Okay, so the pattern that I'm doing, we all know, we've all seen it. It's called Knee High by the 4th of July. This is done more on a like a vintage country mocha type color, but I thought this fabric makes it look like it's a cloud, a cloudy day, and you know, you want your knee high, you're out in the sun, you're out in the, you know, outside. So I thought this would be good. So here was my start. This was a Mania start for this on May 10th. And all I got done was the roof. And then, of course, I had to go on to the next. But I loved how these stitches are looking. And it looks like clouds, doesn't it? So, I want to get this done. I really want to stitch this because, I don't know if you guys know the saying, but knee high by the 4th of July is how farmers knew that their crop was going to do well if by the 4th of July, that's how high your corn was. And then you could kind of tell that you're going to have a good harvest. Okay, well, my son is 6'4", right? We live in mid-Michigan, and I used to rent a farmhouse. We were there for a number of years, and the farmers all around the field, all around us, they'd lease it out, and they'd either plant soybean or corn. And so in 2015, it just happened to be a corn year, and let me tell you, since my kids were little, when we lived in the farm, I'd say, hey, go get your 4th of July stuff, get the flag, and go stand by the corn, and I'd take their pictures. Well, in 2015, my son and his 4-year-old daughter then, my granddaughter Marley, she was 4 at the time, this was them on the 4th of July. You see where his knees are? You see where the corn is? I kid you not. This was knee high by the 4th of July. So I want to frame this picture with this when I'm done. I want to frame these together. Isn't that cool? And then I'll put on the back, I'll write the little story about that. But isn't that cool? So I gotta get this done, and I'm gonna try to stick with this fabric because I like the modeling and it looks like clouds. So anyway, that's Knee High by the 4th of July, and hopefully you guys will see this finished sometime soon because I want to finish it with that copy of that picture. So cool. Okay, Seasons of the Heart isn't the next one, and this is the blue flower. This was also a Mania start, and this comes out of the, oh, I don't have a picture of it. I don't have a picture of it. All I have is what came out of the magazine, and it's in the spring edition of, I don't have a picture of it. It's on the spring edition of Primitive, what's that magazine? Punch, Needle Punch, and Primitive Stitcher magazine. Anyway, you're not going to be able to tell, but I'll flash it real quick. It's the Seasons of the Hearts. You know, she has, every season she has a different heart, and it's got little bunnies and whatever. Well, this was one of my Mania starts, and I literally just did part of the border and part of the heart. I think it goes like this. So, again, 40 count mallow. I love it. I love it. It's so nice to stitch on. So anyway, that one is the called for DMC, and I plan on doing all of those Seasons of the Heart every season that she has. I think she had a winter one in the most recent edition. And hopefully she'll have something else come out this spring. Okay, Seasons of the Heart, Cross Stitch Nation. Here's my next one. I think Lori Holt got me this one too, or she didn't get it for me, but she enabled me to get it. And I also ordered the mug that you can order at the same time. This is by, I think it's Heartstring Samplery by Beth Twist. She's the designer. It's called Cross Stitch Nation. And it's got all the wonderful little cross-stitchy friends with their needles ready to go. And I started this on part of my Mania starts, and it was on the 14th. And this is stitched on a 40 count doubloon, and it's really like modeled. It's really like lots of motion going on here. But that was just my little itty bitty start, but I love it. Focus, focus. Okay, that's it. Cross Stitch Nation. I'm using the called for threads, and there we go. And I'm gonna try to pick it up a little bit because girlfriends and guy friends, if there's guy friends watching, we're almost at an hour. So let's keep going. Cross Stitch Nation, and then we're at Liberty Angel. Again, I was in the Patriotic. It's another project bag that I made. It's quilted. It's got the quilted back from By Annie's. I use sometimes I use that. And this is a Joanne zipper. Sometimes I use her zippers. But anyway, this is Liberty Angel. So beautiful. It's a Leisure Arts leaflet. I've had this in my stash for years and years and years. And I am doing this on a Liberty's Angel, a 40 count vintage country mocha with the called for DMC. And it was a Mania start, so that's all I got. Not a whole lot, just a little bit on the outside of the angel wing. So again, called for DMC on the 40 count vintage country mocha. Next one is, you guys, this one, I don't really know if I'm gonna stick with this fabric. This fabric is a 40 count alabaster Newcastle linen is what I'm using. I'm using the called for DMCs. And you know, some people tell me that this one is such a beautiful stitch that you really should do it with the MPIs that's called for. And this is Liberty's Welcome by Plum Street. Pumpkin Hollow Quilts, Olivia. Hers turned out gorgeous. So again, this is a Mania start. When I first did this, I did it with 1/2, and it just, to me, I did not like the coverage. Even on this 40 count, so I went over it again. So this is 2/2 with the called for DMC. And she's going to be a pretty big girl. I think it goes like this. Let me see. Yeah, it goes like this. No, it doesn't. It goes like this. It's backwards when I'm looking at it. So anyway, this was my start on Liberty's Welcome. So I will be deciding whether or not I'm going to continue with this color or this fabric and just suck it up and do it, or if I'm going to switch to a different type of linen and use MPI. I don't know. Who knows? But that's where we are now. The Stitchy Bee. Found another cute little project bag at Home Goods. It's a Rae Dunn bag, and it holds my little bee project. So this is Little House Needlework called the Stitchy Bee. The Stitching Bee. And I'm doing this also on a 40 count legacy linen. And again, this is a Mania start, and I don't, well, it's kind of showing up there. I was gonna say I don't like the white, but it really is showing up to you guys right there. So I need to, this is not that big. There's no reason why I can't get that done. I want to do a bunch of little bee motifs to put in a little pillow, to put in a my dough bowl. So I need to get this going. These shouldn't take that long, and I think I'm using the called for overdyes that are called for. So that is the Stitching Bee. Where are we? Okay, here's another one that I was unable to do watching other Flosstubers, and this is called Cranberry Christmas. Again, part of my Mania starts. I think I started this one, the big pillow. And this is also done on that 40 count water green linen. And this is what I got done. And this was my first attempt at using sulkies. And I love them. Even on 40 count, one strand is it covers it. I love it. So I have purchased one of the dream boxes, and I'm going to purchase the other ones very soon, and you're going to see something else coming up that I've used sulky, and I really like them. So anyway, that was Cranberry Christmas. So on we go. We're at number 27, by the way. So let's keep moving. Keep moving. This is, oh no, we're not on that. I skipped one. Here we go. This is another Plum Street Samplers. Do you see a pattern? I love Plum Street. I love Brenda Gervais. And you're going to see another pattern going on here. I don't know. Let me see if I have down here. This is a 40 count mystery linen. If anybody knows what it is, it's a Swigert base because it has that telltale orange in the border, the salvage. But this is Plum Street Samplers Summertide Blessings. And Annie, the proper stitcher. Hi Annie, I hope you're doing well. We've missed you. I hope you're doing well, and we'll look forward to seeing you back soon. But anyway, she stitched this. Her and Kim Gavlik. Hi Kim. They would do their Tomato Tuesdays, and that's what kind of got me, hey, I'm going to do that. Look at those tomatoes. So that's what got me going on this. So here's my progress on this. I think it goes that way. And this, like I said, is a 40 count mystery linen. I don't know what it is, but it's pretty. I love it, and I have quite a bit of it, so hopefully I'll have more to do something on the bottom of another pattern. So I need to get working on these using the called for DMC. because it shouldn't take me that long to finish these up. It really shouldn't. So now that Christmas is over, I had a lot of Christmas and gift stitching and stuff I was doing. I'm just going to get busy going stitching on other stuff. So that is that, and I'm trying to get through this really fast. So then we go and fat quarter shop, and away we go with Lori and Kimberly, and they get you all stitching all the things. They get you going on all that stuff. So hadn't done a lot of them, so we had to go turn around and start doing something else. So here we go. This is Lori Holt's Stitchy Stars. I started this on a 28 count Lugana light ash 2/2, and this was part of my Mania starts as well. And I only did 3 of them, and then I kind of abandoned it because I had different ideas. But this is what I got done on these 3. But I am going to restart this, and I'm going to do it on a little bit different count because I have something I want to mount it on that would be perfect for it, but I want it to be a little bit different size. It does come with more than 3 patterns. There's a lot of different ones in here. And then I had pulled some Christmas colors at one point, so I could do it in the Christmas colors, Stitchy Stars. So I was going to do that, and, you know, all the other called for colors. So I'm going to get back to that, Stitchy Stars, and do some more of those, because that's kind of fun. So that is Stitchy Stars. The next one, okay, this one, I think I showed this once before, but pretty sure I'm gonna restart it. This is Flea Market Flowers, and this summer I started this on June 1st because it was part of Sherry the Colorado Stitcher had a summer cross stitch camp, and you started a project on the 1st of the month, and if you got it done by the last day of the month, you have to post your pictures and tag her and do these special things in Instagram and Facebook, that your name goes into a drawing, and people donated prizes and gave out tons and tons and tons of prizes. Obviously I didn't get it done, so let me show you where I am and what I did. This is stitched on a 32 count Jobelin. I don't like it. It's too flimsy. I just don't like stitching on Jobelin. I don't like it. I don't like it. You can't make me. So this is as far as I got, and I kind of put it away because I don't like it. So I have an idea to restart this. I may do something with what I have already got, maybe finish this and do something with this so it's not a total waste. I will finish this block, maybe stitch something down here. I don't know. But I'm going to restart the whole thing using the colors, and I'm either going to do it on... Okay, you know I told you I like Monaco. Every time I go to Hobby Lobby and Michael's, I buy whatever Monaco they have. I love it. It's stiff, but I dye it, I color it, and it gets softer, and I just like stitching on it. So one of the things, and you're going to see all of my Prairie Schooler Santas that I'm doing, I tea-dyed my own 28 count Monaco. And this is what I will do all of my Santas on, is this coffee tea-dyed by me. Not coffee, I didn't use coffee, I just used tea. But I also found online, and I bought a tea-dyed Monaco. I like mine much better for my Santas. It's more mottled, and this is just a tan to me. But I was thinking, the white, obviously, it will pop. But I'm thinking that the tea might be good too. So I'm going to restart Flea Market Flowers, and I think I'm going to use this Monaco that I bought tea-dyed. The white would be good. Those colors would pop right off of there, and it would look kind of like this. But I think this is kind of an off-white. I think I'm going to use this to restart this. So that's my plan. I don't know when that's going to happen, but that's my plan, and I'm sticking to it. So that is Lori Holt's Flea Market Flowers, and I got it in one of her gingham bags. my girl Angela at Happy Little Stitch Shop. If you go and check out her Happy Little Stitch Shop, she's got those. They come in a 3-pack of the blue, the pink, and the gray. She's got a lot of them in stock, so go and check her out at the Happy Little Stitch Shop. Okay, so the next one is my StitchCon. I had a StitchCon start. I bought the fabric at Keepsakes, and I had the gals there help me out. I had already bought the pattern, and I wanted just the perfect linen for this stitch. We were there on the second weekend, which was the middle of June. It happened to be Father's Day weekend, but that Sunday was Juneteenth Day. So it was very fitting that I started A Stitch for Sweet Freedom by Lindy Stitches. This, oh you guys, I am so sorry for the glare, but I can't take this out. Oh yeah, I can, hang on. Oh please. A Stitch for Sweet Freedom. And it's to commemorate Juneteenth Day. So this was my StitchCon start. And I went to Keepsakes and I said, I need a really cool fabric for this. And this is what I got. And this is not going to show up as beautiful as this fabric is. It's so gorgeous. I obviously didn't get a very big start on this. This is what I got done in the late night stitchy room on the 19th, on Juneteenth Day at StitchCon. It wasn't a whole lot. But anyway, this fabric is called Diversity. So I thought that was appropriate, and I think it's going to be wonderful for this stitch on this pattern, or this fabric called Diversity. And it's a 40 or a 46 count. Isn't it gorgeous? Love it. So I'm going to do that. I am also going to StitchCon Weekend B again, which the Monday following is Juneteenth Day. And on a good note, it's become a federal holiday. So the state of Michigan, I work for the state of Michigan, has also decided that's going to be a state holiday. So I get an extra day after StitchCon that I don't have to take vacation time, and I'm just going to stay one more day and I'm just going to stitch. But this isn't that beautiful? The coloring and the modeling on it is just gorgeous. So that is Diversity, and I'm stitching A Stitch for Sweet Freedom in remembrance of Juneteenth Day. And does anybody know what Juneteenth Day is? That's the day that the Emancipation Proclamation was signed, freeing the slaves. So it's very important in our history, and so that's what this stitch is to commemorate. Okay, so guess what, guys? The first box is done. Woohoo! This is a strawberry box that I brought groceries home from Costco, I think. Well, I had 2 of them, and it worked perfectly to put on all of my WIPs. And so now we got one more box, so we're halfway done. We are at number 31. Okay, so this is for cross stitch camp. We in June, that was my flea market flowers, was my June camp project. My July was And to All a Good Night, which was by Stitching with the Housewives, and I finished that. That is an FFO. And if I'm going to turn this really quick, if you look right up there, that was my July project. I'm taking Christmas down and moving stuff around, so that's why that's kind of bare. But anyway, my that was my, what am I saying? My July project, and I got to start and finish in the month of July. So I got it done. So my August 1st start, the rules, so to speak, what they wanted you to stitch is to pick a project using a fabric or a floss that you'd never used before. And that was kind of the criteria. Well, I had never used silks before. So I decided that I was going to start this wonderful project. And I know, Stephanie, I watched your latest Flosstube, and I am going to be calling you probably to remember what it was that you got to use for your white. Because I am doing out of the Home for the Holidays. She's doing it out of the Joy Noel book, but I'm doing it out of the Home for the Holidays, and it is 'Tis the Season. And like she was saying, you see this gorgeous white, how this white is just popping right off of that fabric? Mine not so much. I'm using a 40 count Valor. Is that what I'm using? 'Tis the Season. Yes, I'm using a 40 count Valor by Picture This Plus with the called for silks. And like Stephanie was saying, thank you, Stephanie, the vanilla pudding is not white. It does not look white at all. So here's where I am. And I kind of put it away because that white right there and right there are not showing up. So, Stephanie, remind me, if you watch this, which you probably don't, but if you do, remind me what color you used instead. Because I will get that bad boy and stitch it in that, because this white is not popping. I want my whites to pop. So, anyway, this is where I am. It's 'Tis the Season, Blackbird Design, on 40 count Valor by Picture This Plus. And I love that cardinal. It is beautiful. And silks, I don't know if you guys have ever tried. They are so soft. You just try them. Try it. If you haven't tried it, try it. Oh my gosh. So I keep these in a bag. Inside, it's a high-tech little Ziploc bag that I keep because it's silk and I don't want them to get all fuzzy. So that's what I got in here. Even though I just made, if you watch my last video, I made such a thing called a flannel floss friend that I need to get and put this in here and get it out of the little Ziploc bag. So that is from Home for the Holidays. It is 'Tis the Season by Blackbird Designs. Okay, so now to the next one. This is another Blackbird design, and we're getting into fall now. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I want to stitch everything fall. So this is the first one that I did out of, it's on a 32 count Ivory Jobelin, 1/1. 32 count, 1/1, people. I started this on the 25th of September. So this is called The Spell of the Moon, I think. Yes, Spell of the Moon. It is out of this Winds of Autumn book from Plum Street, no, Blackbird Design, and it is the one with the cat and the moon, and it's called The Spell of the Moon, and I've got to find it now so I can show you the picture in here. So sorry. Oh, here we go. It's right in the front. This is what I'm doing. But I decided I wanted it to be small. So I took a 32 count Jobelin fabric, and I'm stitching that bad boy I got all sorts of regular threads and hair, and it's wrinkled, and it's not Elizabethan can stitch, but it's over 1/1 on 32 count. And that's as far as I got. It would make a little teeny tiny pillow, so that'll be cool. So I need to get back to that and get that one going. Okay, so that is the first one I did out of that book. But then I jumped to The Spell of the Moon. I was at the Stitching with the Housewives retreat that was outside of Indiana area. And stay tuned, because the week of the 24th of January Kim Gavlik and her daughter are going to give out more information about the stitching or Christmas in July with the housewives. It's going to be the last week in July, so stay tuned for more information on that. But I had a table. I was a project bag vendor at that retreat, so I decided that I make all the, you know, these type of vinyl front. This is one of the bags I made as well. The vinyl front bags, I decided I was going to do something a little bit different. This one I did the quilted inside. I made the quilty things and did it on the inside of the back. But I had never made a, like Christy at Crosshatch Quilts. And I know Nicola from Bumble Stitches, I know she does. But I decided to make my first fabric bag. And I think I've showed these before. And so this is fully lined with cute little kitty cats. And it's got a zipper. And this is one of the pulls that Cassidy, no, this is a, it's macrame, but that gave me the idea from Lori Holt's daughter Cassidy when she did her little pulls. So I got a bunch of stuff to make these. Haven't made them. But anyway, this is my project that I started at that retreat with Stitching with the Housewives. And it's on my floss drops that we made for the retreat. I stitched that up really quick and took a picture of it, sent it to Vistaprints, and did this to commemorate our Stitching with the Housewives trick-or-treating retreat in the fall of 2021. It was kind of fun. But anyway, and here's my floss drop cards, which I need to really order more. I don't have any left. The ones I do have left are little bag. I send them out with my project bags that people buy. So anyway, I decided, and I do have the pattern. It's Pumpkin Picking Day Back Up the Truck series. This was the first one that came out in this series, and I absolutely loved it. So this was my retreat start, and I didn't really get a whole lot of start. Excuse the thread just hanging there. This is another 28 count Monaco. It comes white, and I dyed this black. And if you watch one of the 5 videos that I have, 5 or the real number 5, one of those I talk about exactly what I do and what I use. I've showed the bottle to get them this dark. It turns out so dark, and right now it's light, but the colors just pop on this because it turns out so black. And they don't make this black 28 count Monaco anymore. So anyway, this is Pumpkin Picking Day from the Back Up the Truck series. I love it. So that's that. After that came Peace on Earth, and this was my birthday start, October 7th, for my birthday. I started this, and I did a Zoom with a bunch of stitchy friends that were at the retreat, and anybody else who wanted to join. I just put it out there, hey, I'm starting this on my birthday. Anybody want to join me? Here's the Zoom link, and I had a bunch of people join us in the Zoom to stitch with me, and that was lots of fun, and I love doing that. So I will probably be doing it again, so stay tuned. This is on another piece of that 40 count water green Newcastle linen, and it is Peace on Earth by Country Garden Samplings. It is gorgeous, and I think his name is Butch, the man who owns Stitch and Frame in Fort Wayne. Stitched 95% of the models that you see in that store. He has stitched them and framed them. He is an amazing, amazing stitcher. He's really, really good. So he had a model of this hanging up, and I said, oh, that's what I want. I want that. I will start that for my birthday. And this is all I got done. So I do believe this is another one that is on my WIP Go board, so we will get some more love to this very soon. And this project is in one of the project bags that I made with Lori Holt Vintage Christmas Fabric. And on the inside it has snowflakes. So it's another cute little project bag that I made. This one, I'm not selling it because I'm keeping the ones that aren't perfect. That, you know, this one, I sewed the lining a little bit too close to the zipper and it keeps getting stuck. So it gets to this point and then it gets stuck and you got to mess with it. So I don't want a customer to have to do that. So anyway, that's another one of my project bags. So here we go. Brick House Sampler, that's not that one. Peace on Earth. Okay, it's fall, y'all. Okay, Stitching with the Housewives. You know, at first I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. They're kind of cute, but when you go and see them in person, the models, when Priscilla brings her trunk show, all of her little tier tray tidbits and the dapper doodads and all of these projects that they have for every season, every category that you can think of, it's different when you see it in person. So I got a bunch of fall ones. So it's fall, y'all. And this was my little start on this. Not little start. I don't have a whole lot left to go. I could finish this up soon if I just get it done. Get her done. So I thought this was really cute. So it's fall, y'all. So I'm going to get that up, get that done. That's another WIP I can get off this WIP list and get in the finish pile. Okay, so this one is, the next one that I'm bringing up is one of my WIP Go calls. This is in another project bag that I made. This is the inside is Halloween-ish. And the back is, I love this. Actually, this fabric, all of these came in a little bundle from Walmart, of all places. They got some nice fabric. So anyway, this is, where did it go? Hallows Eve at Raven Hollows, and it's a Brenda Gervais. And I happen to have this because I was just stitching on this, but again, this is the prototype. This is the very first one. This is the Flannel Floss Friend prototype. And this is made with really cute little cookie cutter fabric, and there's a little gingerbread. So on the inside is gingerbread flannel, and then there's the zipper. Again, it's not, if you're sitting it open and working, you don't have to turn it upside down to get something out of the zipper. It's on the inside. So you can just reach in there as you've got it open on your desktop in front of you. And then when you're done stitching, you got threads on here. It just tri-folds and snaps, and away you go. Throw it in your bag. So, again, these are Flannel Floss Friends, and I'm going to be having them available. This obviously doesn't match, but I'm going to start making bags and Flannel Floss Friends to match. So, if you're interested in any of these kind of project bags or Flannel Floss Friend, stitchingwithgrammy@gmail.com is the one place I want all those emails to go. So thank you very much. So that's that. So here is my project. It's my number 2 WIP Go project, and so I've been giving it a lot of love lately. And it's Hallows Eve at Raven Hollow. And I got those pumpkins, 2 of them done and 1 in midway. I got that dish next to the little kitty. Look at that little kitty. That's so cute. So, and I don't think I even showed you guys. I was too busy showing you the Flannel Floss Friend that I didn't show you the pattern, the picture of what this is going to look like when it's done. There you go. Hallows Eve at Raven's Hollow. And a little witch and a couple birds. Aren't they cute? Okay, so let's keep moving, and we will go to the next item on our list is, where are we at? Hallows Eve, Brick House Sampler. Okay, so again, I mentioned Angela and the Happy Little Stitch Shop, and their group did a sale of this. This is a Creative Country Girl Tammy Blaylock's bag, and this was out, and it was kitty corn fabric, and there's her tag. Creative Country Girl, Tammy Blaylock. And yes, I know it's Halloween, but I don't care. It's a cute bag. So she's got a top zipper, and she always has a little hook in here so you can hang your scissors or your thread, on this little hook that's on the inside of the bag. So anyway, this is where I am on the Brick House Sampler, again by Brenda Gervais. I love the bottom border. It's so beautiful. I was having an issue with some of the colors, so I changed them up a little bit because I don't like, in the pattern, the birds to me look turquoise. But when in reality, the colors that the bird are these greens. And I'm like, no, I want a blue bird, like it looks blue. So I'm going to be changing up my birds a little bit. But here's my progress. Not a whole lot, but progress is progress, right? Okay, so we're going to keep going on that and hopefully have a finish with that in 2022 as well. So that's the Brick House Sampler by Brenda Gervais and With Thy Needle. Stitching it with the Stitch Along with the Happy Little Stitch Shop. Okay, so here is another Waiting for the Harvest, Blackbird Designs. It's another one out of this Autumn, Winds of Autumn book. And this one, a lot of people were stitching it, and they did it all in black, which it called for all black. But you know me, I had to change it up, and I need to find the page that the pattern is on so I can show you. So sorry, guys. I should have had it earmarked, or not earmarked, but oh, come on. You know which ones I'm talking about. Here we go. Okay. This is Waiting for the Harvest. See, this is all done in variegated dark, one variegated dark color. Well, I decided that I don't want to do it all in that, and so I'm just doing the bee and then the birds and the outline across the top, but I'm also going to do green for where the threads are for the pumpkins, and then I'm going to do the pumpkins in orange. So here's my color palette. I'm going to do green, I'm going to do the orange for the pumpkins, and this is one of the cute little keychains I got as a goodie bag gift at the Trick-or-Treating with the Housewives retreat. So anyway, that's my little stitch, and I'm doing this. This is a coffee tea dye 28 count Monaco, and I am doing it over 1 on 28 count, over 1. I think this is going to turn out really cute because it's going to be smaller. It's in a bag. Ooh, I just showed pattern. So sorry. Here's a little bag that I made with the ball, and that's got a little sunflower, and that's what these Spell of the Moon and the Waiting for the Harvest, that's the bag they live in. So these should not take long to stitch up at all. And then there's another pattern out of that book, the Winds of Autumn, I also was going to do, but I just ran out of time this fall and jumped right onto Christmas stitching. But in this book, everybody has done it. A lot of people have been getting finishes on it. Celeste Creates, she did one, it's really pretty. And that's the Mighty Acorn. I will be stitching that this fall. Okay, so we're doing whips. We're not doing what we're doing later. So let's move on because we've still got more to go. We are on number 39, All Hallows Eve. Okay, so this one, my girl Jamie at the Lansing retreat that I went to, she was stitching this, and I'm like, I have got to stitch it. I've got to stitch it. And then I got a test fabric by Fabrics by Stephanie, and it's very unique fabric. There's not going to be another one like it anywhere around because she was trying out different things and different ways in modeling, and so there's no other fabric like this anywhere to be found. But it is Lila's Studio or Leela's Studio All Hallows Eve. And that little witch girl is so cute. This is done on Ancient, but I could not find Ancient anywhere. So this test fabric really turned out pretty good. It still is kind of modeled where I chose to put this, so it makes it look like it's kind of cloudy up there. And this is where I'm at on this. I think I changed the color of the purple to get it a little bit more, so it will show up a little bit more, and the lighting in here is not doing us any favors. It's not showing. There you go, a little bit. That's purple. You can see it now. But, and that's what it's supposed to be looking like. And I want to get the companion one that also has the girl, and she's not a witch, that I want to get that one as well. But it's so cute. So that's my project, or progress on that project. So that's where we are on that, and it is also in one of my project bags that I made for that retreat to sell, and it didn't sell, so I kept it and put it in here in my little zipper pull I got from Annie at the retreat, Stitching with the Housewives retreat. So I put that on there because it had a skeleton head on it, and it's my skeleton bag. Okay, so the next one is, okay, this one, I started it, I think I showed it. Oh, hold please. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, I just dumped the second box. So hopefully I can edit that out. But the next one on my list, and I don't have the project that I started because the fabric was going to be too small, so I really needed to get a bigger piece. So it is called The First Thanksgiving. I don't have anything to show you, but I'm still calling it a WIP because I'm gonna get fabric and I'm gonna do it. I love it, but I just know that the fabric that I chose, I was gonna be too close to the edges on the width of it, and I'm not gonna risk it. So I pulled that out and used that fabric for something else, but I am gonna finish this. First Thanksgiving from Twin Peak Primitives. So I will be stitching that again, getting a different fabric. The next one on my list, okay. Yeah, unzip your bags. It'll be easy, they said. It'll be good. It's not. Okay. Whew. Okay, the next one on my list, Lori Holt does what she calls a Sabbath stitch. So a bunch of us at the Happy Little Stitch Shop are also going to start doing our Sunday Sabbath stitches, or sacred stitch, or Sunday stitch, or whatever you want to call it. And so this was the one that I chose. It is The Lord's Blessing by Diane Arthur's. Give thanks for family, friends, and the Lord's blessings. So this is the one I started in the fall. It comes with a little acorn button that goes right there. I started this on the 7th of November. And I work on this on Sundays. The bag that I have it in, I won from the Stitching with the Housewives retreat. Kim Gavlik gave away door prizes almost every day, and this was in the bag. It is a Creative Carols project bag, And I want it. And it's got a handle, and it's vinyl front, and it's got the good By Annie zippers, the real hard, heavy duty ones. And it's Happy Thanksgiving. It's thankful. And again, it's Creative Carol Designs is the bag maker. So this is my Sabbath stitch. I don't have a whole lot done. Just the border across the top and started on the first little motif. And again, I'm doing this on a 40 count vintage country mocha. So that's my Sunday Sabbath stitch that I will be stitching on Sundays. It's fall, so I might pick out another one. A lot of people are doing a Savior's Praise sampler. Lori just finished, that was hers this year. This past year, she just finished it on Christmas Eve. And this year, she started, the one she started this year is Consider the Lilies. And that is her Sabbath stitch, Sunday's stitch. So, I will be working on this one and then maybe do a Savior's Praise. I don't know. But this is what I got so far. What I got going on now. Okay. So then I started, and I dropped this box, and so everything went flying. That's that. So bear with me. I apologize. Here we go. This is a Stitching with the Housewives Christmas pattern called Hello Santa, and it's part of the All Jarred Up series. And this was the first bigger one. They had some that were the Dapper Doodads or the Tier Tray Tibbets that were in the little jars, but this is their All Jarred Up series. This was the first one. And so it's Hello Santa, and I got a pretty good start on it, and then kind of just went on something else. This was my start. So I will probably not do this for a while. I'll get back to it at some point, but that was Hello Santa. Then I decided everybody's doing the Lizzie Kate Christmas rules and the autumn rules and Primrose people, whoever they are. Let's see. Primrose Cottage Stitches came up with their Christmas rules. So I thought, okay, those are cute. They're all on one pattern, so you don't have to buy a bunch of little ones and figure out how to put it together like the Lizzie Kate. This is all in one. So let me start with this one. Okay, so I got really excited, and I think I have a 40 count wren. I think this is the other half of a 40 count wren. And I thought, let me use the sulkies, and I'm going to pick out my colors, and I'm going to use my new sulky pack that I just got, right? So I was so excited, and I started stitching this. This is the first top part in this series that's really long. Well, I don't know what I was thinking when I put this on the Q-snap. I got lots of space up here, but I think I'm going to run out of room before I put the rest of that on and have enough room to frame it or whatever. So I decided for this Christmas rules, I'm going to do each one of these little sections as a little pillow. So these will be my little pillow on this fabric. Still using the sulky, and it turns out really good. I really like it. One strand of sulky on this 40 count wren. I love it. Is that focusing? There we go. I love it. It's so beautiful. So I was kind of bummed, but I've got enough fabric here. I'm just going to do little pillows for that. But then I said, okay, well, I want to do it though all on one. And this kind of looked like a blue fabric. So guess what? I got some really cute fabric when I was at the Lancey Retreat. Not Fabrics by Stephanie, but Under the Sea Fabrics or Under... I can't remember what it was, but I got this really cute blue sparkly fabric. And I got lots of room, so I'm going to be able to fit it all in. and it all fits, and it's all the colors all show up. So the white is going to show up, the green and the red shows up wonderfully. So I'm really excited, and I put it as close to the top as I could get it because I don't want to run out down here. So this is going to be kind of tight however I finish it, but at least I know it's going to fit. So that is Christmas rules number 2, and this is Christmas rules number 1, and they both are on my WIP Go board. So I think I'm going to get a lot done. And again, these are sulky threads. Okay, so that covers 2. We're almost there, guys. We're on number 45. We got to 56, so we're gonna get going here. Bear with me if you guys are still with me. I appreciate you guys so much for sticking with me. Again, it's Christmas. I'm looking to do more of the Christmas theme. These are Dapper Doodads. They're 4x4. This is the second one I did in the series, and I just happen to have, I know this is a WIP Parade, but I happen to have a finish. This was the first one I did in that series. It's so cute. And so this is where I'm at on this. Just got the top of the barn or whatever, and I'm starting the green. And here's a needle minder. I don't know who I got it from, but I got it from someone at StitchCon. Slay all day. So anyway, there's my progress on Holly Tree Farm. Okay, so I will leave all these Housewives ones right there. What do we have next? Oh, my Prairie Schooler Santas. Okay, so as you know, I started, you might not know, but I've been telling everybody on my thing. So I started with the 1984. I coffee tea dyed Monaco like I showed you here. I am going to do all of them with the called for colors on coffee tea dye Monaco that I dyed. There's 1984. Sorry, I left needles in these. I don't want to stab myself. Oh, and that's a Pat Carson needle, too. I got to keep that with these Prairie Schooler Santas. Okay, so that was 1984. Here's 1985. Look at the white pop in his beard. You go, Santa. And I put like my little initials on the bottom and the year I finished it. And then my current WIP is where I am, 1986. Didn't get a whole lot done but the top border. So I will be having a Prairie Schooler Santa at all times in the works. They're not on my WIP Go board because I'm going to work on them all the time anyway. I think I'm starting, I've done this quite a bit in the last couple weeks. For some reason I wake up in the morning early and I can't sleep. So instead of laying there hitting snooze or whatever, I've been getting up almost an hour to 2 hours early before I start work at 7 o'clock. I'm stitching in the morning. So I think I'm going to dedicate that time to Prairie Schooler Santas and get my, progress done on them. I have all of them in this big, huge bag. And I've got lots of coffee tea dyed that I dye so that they're all going to be the same. I'm going to put them all on 28 count Monaco, and I want to make ornaments, so hopefully by the end of the year, I don't know if I'll get them all done by the end of the year. I started at 84 and I'm doing them in order all the way up till 2022 whenever they release it. So anyway, that's my Prairie Schooler Santas in that big old bag. Okay, so now we are at my 12 by 12 for New Year's Eve. Remember my last Flosstube? I was so excited about all the 12 projects I was going to start, right? Remember that? Okay, so in the meantime, my dad was with me. he needed my attention, and I told him, I'm starting at noon, Dad. If you need something, let me know, but I'm going to be stitching all day. If you need something, don't worry, I can help you, whatever. So I had to make him lunch, I had to make him dinner, I had to help him go do this, that, and the other. I had to get him all settled. Well, finally around 7 o'clock, he had a cough, so I got him some NyQuil, I got him settled down and ready. He was out, fell asleep. The sound of him sleeping in the lazy boy that was behind me as I'm stitching and comfortable in my lazy boy, I fell asleep. So I fell asleep shortly after 7 p.m. You know, you're supposed to start a project every hour. Nothing else got started after 7 p.m. I woke up at 12:08. So I didn't even see the ball fall. So Happy New Year, y'all. So I didn't get as many of my 12 started as I had planned. Okay, so let me show you where I'm at on some of these. This is my other WIP Go project for this month. So I've been doing a lot on this. And this is the Coffee Quaker. First I drink the coffee, then I do the things. This is what I've been stitching on the past couple mornings when I got up. So I think I'm gonna, I don't know if I'm gonna use that time for my WIP Go, 10 days of my WIP Go, or if I'm gonna do Prairie School or Santa's. But anyway, here's my progress. Here's where, that doesn't work. Let's get this. And that's why I still got it in the Q-snap, because there's where I am. And it looks crooked because I have this tightened weird in this. I'm doing this on a 36 count toasted almond fabrics by Stephanie. And the reason why I don't know if I'm going to have enough this way. So I'm like pushing up thread, but you know, I'm not leaving as much space in between here. I kind of started it as close as I could up here because I was afraid I was going to run out at the bottom. So I'm kind of like shoving everything up. So my spacing is going to be a little bit different in this than the called for, just because I don't want to run out at the bottom. So that's where I am on this Coffee Quaker. All right, moving right along. Oh, this is in one of my coffee bags that I made, project bags that I made. That's not the Starbucks one. And the back is fully quilted and it's vinyl front. So if you guys are interested in project bags, remember stitchingwithgrammy@gmail.com. So that is the Coffee Quaker. Let's go now to another one of my starts at New Year's Eve. Didn't get a whole lot done on this and haven't gotten back to it. This is a Bloom Chock Full. Says hands-on design, but we all know those are Priscilla's designs. Why she designed for heartstring sample hands-on design, I don't know. But that's Priscilla's design. I don't know how much Kathy did and how much Priscilla did, but those are Priscilla's designs. So anyway, I started this on my 12 by 12, one of them, before I fell asleep. And that's my progress. Again, it is on 28 count Monaco black that I dyed. And I'm doing the top, the big jar one. Using the called for colors that are so pretty. They don't look very pretty, do they? They're all wadded up. But the colors are pretty. So anyway, that's where I am on that. Bloom Chock Full by Priscilla and Hands-On Design. Okay, so we're getting there, guys. We're getting there. The next one I started, this is in another project bag that I made. Using the called for DMC rather than the Aurifil. This has got the stitch fabric and my little keychain. This is a little sewing machine from Hobby Lobby, And this is a little Barbie decal that I got from my girl Crafty Kara. And this pink rickrack actually came tied around things that I ordered from the Featherweight shop when I got my little spa day kit for my Featherweight machine that's behind my board right here. And I've not given her her spa day yet. So anyway, this is Stitch Fabric by Lori Holt. And in this bag, I am keeping the Prim Stitch series. Everybody has done this. I hadn't jumped on that bandwagon yet. Well, I decided my girl Elaine at Annabella's shop had a absolutely wonderful 30% off sale after Thanksgiving, and I said, why not pull the trigger now on all 12 of these patterns? If you watch my last Flosstube, excuse me, if you watch my last Flosstube, you'll see that I made a mistake and I ordered number 9 and number 12 twice. So I have those two on my last Flosstube as a giveaway, along with 2 project bags. I'm not ending that. I'm not doing giveaways during this WIP Parade. It's already long enough that you guys, that would take too much time. So still, go back and watch my other Flosstube. Say the magic words for the 4 things I'm giving away on that video for your chance to win number 9 or number 12. And the keywords are in there, but you'll have to watch it. So anyway, this is where I started with number 1, which is Patriotism and Industry. And I am stitching this on a 46 count colonial parchment by Fabrics by Stephanie. I love this fabric. Love it. 46 count colonial parchment, and this is my little start. Come on, it's blurry. I went online to the Fat Quarter shop. It's So Emma Prim Stitch Series border layout. I went online and I got their, I just showed you. This is the free pattern that goes along with it, and each of your blocks then go in there. So I'm stitching this all together in on one piece of linen. So that's just the little teeny tiny corner of this border. So again, gorgeous, beautiful. Let me see if I can hold this up really quickly. Gorgeous, beautiful DMC. Called for DMCs on colonial parchment. I love it. Okay, so that's the Prim Stitch series by Lori Holt. If you haven't done it, go out and get you some and stitch along. I know the Happy Little Stitch Shop also has this as a kit on their website. You can get it with all of the patterns and a floss pack, and I believe you can even get fabric. Just let Angela know, send her an email, and she will get you whatever you need. Or Annabella's has it on her website as well, on her Etsy shop. So either one, grab it and stitch along with me, would ya? It'll be fun. It's going to take a while, but hey. That is Lori Holt's Prim Stitch series. Okay, we're getting down there, guys. This is another one that I started. Souvenirs of the Heart. Okay, this also was my New Year's Eve 12 by 12. This one I have had hanging around for the longest time, and I thought, you know what? I need stuff for my little bowl, dough bowls. Patriotic, let me do this as part of my 12 by 12. So, it's not gonna be that hard. I did it on a 40 count Brenda's Brew. Again, this was the New Year's Eve 12 by 12 start, so I did not get a whole lot done. But it's a start, and now this is a WIP. So that's all I got. but I'm using all the called for beautiful overdyes on that. So that is going to continue on 40 count Brenda's Brew, and it is wonderful. Souvenirs of the Heart, Star Spangled Spectacular. Okay, all right, we're getting down there, guys. Only a few more. Okay, this one, I've had this pattern since StitchCon, because again, if you haven't been to StitchCon, or if you haven't seen any of the videos, there is a trunk show. The Annex is what they call it. Keepsakes brings in trunk shows from a lot of designers in the Annex, and you can buy patterns. When you first walked into Weekend B, well, it was probably the same for Weekend A, Teresa Kogut's trunk show. It was gorgeous! And I saw this. This is Lincoln's Eagle by Teresa Kogut. And I'm sure you guys have all seen this before. You know what I'm talking about. Lincoln's Eagle by Teresa Kogut. Beautiful, beautiful. I love it. I'm stitching this on Lincoln's Eagle. Also on the other half of the 36 count Toasted Almond fabric by Stephanie. And I did not get a whole lot started on this. That's all I got, because remember, this was New Year's Eve, and it was a 12 by 12, so you started one every hour on the hour. And there were a couple hours that Kia B and Pam from Just Keep Stitching did a live chat. They went live, answered questions, gave away goodies. It was a lot of fun when I was awake. So when they were live, you didn't really get a lot of stitching done, because you were watching them and talking and listening to them and answering trivia questions and whatnot. So anyway, that was another one of my starts. That was Lincoln's Eagle by Teresa Kogut, and that was the New Year's Eve start. Another one is the Jar of Roses from the Stitching with the Housewives. And this one I've worked on a little bit since then, but isn't it beautiful? This is a Valentine stitch, and I have a wonderful finishing idea that I talked about in one of my previous floss tubes. I found a heart that tiered tray tidbit, which are these 3x4 designs, would look perfect on. And so I want to get this done so that I can put it on that heart. So here's my progress on this. And here's the called for colors. This is a piece of 28 count Monaco that I have dyed Tropical Teal. And I used this piece earlier. Again, I know it's a WIP Parade, not a finished parade, but let's just look at this. This is my finish, not fully finished, but my finish of my Ho 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 Santa and His Jammies. Also by Priscilla and Stitching with the Housewives. So anyway, there's my progress on the Jar of Roses, which I started on New Year's Eve. And I don't know why some of these are still in Q-snaps. I should take them off. Okay, Cottage Garden Sampling. This is called It's Snow Time. This was another one I started. I saw this as a finish model at Stitch and Frame, and it's so beautiful. I can't wait to finish it. This is It's Snow Time Cottage Garden Sampling. I love the cardinals on there. They're so adorable. I'm stitching this on I think it's 32 count, and I have no idea what it is, and I'm using the called for DMC, and this is my project. Progress, okay? Words are hard. This is my progress. I do not know what this fabric is. If you know, let me know in the comments. I think it's 32 count. I don't know, but I think it's going to look so cute. It's going to be adorable. So that's one more of my New Year's Eve starts. It's Snow Time Cottage Garden Sampling. And I love these patterns. It's like a magazine type page. It's not, but it's one page, and there's the back information but your pattern is just a color pattern. Isn't that cool? I like these patterns. They're so nice. And I usually just keep it in this sheet protector. I usually put it in open, but I just tossed it in like this. So, okay, so those were all I got done for the, I only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the 12 because, you know, I wanted to sleep instead. I took a fast track on a train to Slumbertown. So, anyway, so then I had my New Year's Day start. And this one I think I'm going to start over again too. I'm not really digging the fabric. This is also a 32 count smoky white, I think it's called. I got it at Moe's Needle and Thread. But this is my New Year's New Year New Start fruit. This is the Modern Folk Embroidery stitch along that they did last year. This is the 2021, the Fruit of Plenty stitch along. I am not doing 22, I'm doing 21. So this is just this little top corner is all I got. Whoopsie. I'm not really digging. I like the color, I like the modeling, but I don't like, it's 32 count. I don't like 32 count. I like 32 count. I'd rather do something. So I did order some more mallow, 40 count mallow in a bigger piece so that I will have enough if I chose to do this on that. The two colors I'm using for now, I'm thinking that brown is a little too dark. I have it in a little cute little bag that I made with coffee, and it's got Starbucks on the inside. But I'm using the pink is DMC 152, and the browns that I have so far is the 3371, but it's looking pretty dark on this fabric. Maybe on the mallow it won't, it'll look a little different, but there is another brown that's got a little bit of a grayish tone to it, not so blackish brown, it's more of a grayish brown that I'm gonna try when I try the new fabric. So anyway, that's in this pink gingham bag that's pink. And it's Modern Folk Embroidery, the Fruit of Plenty. So that was my New Year's Day start. We're almost done, guys. Almost done because, of course, you know I've started a few more since then. So, the other start... Oh, how did I miss this one? This one was way up. This was way up in November. It's 32 count Jobelin. It's called Struttin' by Teresa Kogut. I don't know how I missed it, but that's it. I don't think the white showed up very much for his beard. So I'm either going to put some back stitching in there in like a grayish color, silverish color, or I'm just going to change fabric and start it over. Because the white's not showing up. There it is a little bit, but I just don't like that 32 count Jobelin. I don't like it. I just don't like it. So anyway, that's Teresa Kogut. Another project bag that I made with that, and Santa's on the inside. Okay. Two more. This again is a series, and I've got this on a 40 count vintage country mocha, and I have put in the white and taken it out multiple times. You can see where I've had it in there and took it out. I cannot get a white to show up on vintage country mocha 40 count to save my life. If you guys stitch on this fabric and you use whites, what white do you use to get it to pop? I have tried Snowball, I've tried Bamboo, I've tried B5200, I've tried white, I've tried, this is Snowball, I've tried grits, I've tried it all. And I just can't get the white. So I may change this fabric as well. But this, my friends, is the Little House Needleworks Farmhouse Christmas. And this is number 1. Everybody's doing it. Already the vintage stitcher, she was working on it. I did get the free pattern that's on the website that you can get to do the border. So that's what this border is, the top of the border. But again, I started, this is actually one of my, I think this was one of my 12 starts, but the fabric that I had it on that Queen Anne lace 32 count Jobelin that I have knee high by the 4th of July on, and I couldn't get any of the whites to show up on that again. So I thought, well, let me try this, and I couldn't get whites looking good. So I said, screw it, I'm just going to get a different fabric and then we'll see. So that's that, Farmhouse Christmas. I am also going to be doing the Fall on the Farm Stitch Along with the Happy Little Stitch Shop when that comes out. So I'll have 2 of those series going on. So here's my final start, my final WIP. I'm going to tag her below. If you have not seen this on Lisa the Kindred Stitcher, it is the Blackbird Design Garden Series. And I'm pulling the picture of it up on my phone. Because normally that series, you stitch each one on a different type of linen that's called for, and you stitch all 12 of the different linens together and make it into one big thing. Or you can make pillows, you can do what you want, but that's how they stitched it together. Well, my girl Lisa had changed it up a little bit, and she did it a little bit different and designed a different layout. And this is what hers, oh come on, please show, because you guys want to see this. This is how she did hers. And there's her Instagram, Kindred Stitcher. She has Flosstube too, and she has a video of this. This is not coming in very, it's kind of blurry. There we go. Now you can see it a little bit. I think the way she laid it out and she changed a few of the colors. But it is gorgeous. It's so beautiful. So thank you, Lisa. If you watch this, I doubt it. But if you do, thank you for this inspiration, because I'm going to totally copycat you. So when I went to Fort Wayne, the reason I had to go to Stitch and Frames is to get the rest of these. I had 2 more that they had put on order that I had to go. So now I have all 12 of them. And the patterns, they don't even go in order. The first one is actually number 7, and she splits number 7 in half because it's 2 different patterns stitched together. So what she did is split them and put them one on one end of the top row and one on the other. And then she has this pattern number 1 and pattern number 2 in between these 2. So that's the top row. So that's what I'm working on now. And this was my final start of this for my WIPs. And I started this on the 8th, the day I went down to Fort Wayne and got my last 2. So here is, and I've got a thread that I'm in the middle of a stitch. Here's my progress so far. And I am stitching this on the 46 count colonial parchment. Love it. Love, 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 love it. Thank you so much, Lisa, for your inspiration. So, here's all the rest of them. I'll go through them really quick. These are the rest of the ones in the garden series that are used to make this wonderful project. They're so beautiful. There's the lady watering her plants. That's so good. That's so pretty. And some of them have specialty stitches in them, some of them don't. But here's 10. I'm trying to find the last one. Here's pretty much how they designed it. That's only 9, but you sew them. You do each one on a different linen, and then sew them all together. Is how the designers called, you know, their ideas for it. But I'm gonna do what Lisa Kindred Stitcher did, and if you don't follow her, go watch her Flosstube, because it's turned out gorgeous how she did it. It's so beautiful. So anyway, we are at 2 hours and 12. I will be editing some of that out when my box fell down. So hopefully you're still with me. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification button. Go back and watch Flosstube number 7, because I've got those 4 items to give away, and I'm going to let that go until my next regular Flosstube that I'll do in a week or so. I appreciate everyone. I just found out Janet Jabber, when I met with her, and I'll remember to enter that picture, she's already talked about the project bags and gave me a shout out on her Flosstube, and I already, after her doing that, have hit 500 subscribers. I'm so excited! 500! I'd like to get those up, so tell your friends, pass the word. I'd like to get the subscriber count up, but I really appreciate everybody who does subscribe and hits that notification and gives me a thumbs up, because this is fun, and I hope I have inspired you to stitch something different out of your comfort zone. If you have any questions, please enter them in the comments below. I will try to answer them on my next regular Flosstube. I'm going to go through the questions and address some of the questions that you guys have had. Life got crazy and I don't have time. I usually heart everybody's. I read everyone's comment. I really appreciate it, but I don't always have time to go back and respond to each one. But I do truly, truly thank you for all being here, subscribing, and commenting, and just being my stitchy friends. So, if you guys have any questions, again, put them in the links below. Check me out on Instagram at stitching_with_Grammy. And if you want to order any project bags or flannel floss friends, my Gmail is stitchingwithgrammy@gmail.com. So thank you all for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye, Flosstube.